And good evening, everybody. It is time for Bronco baseball on a beautiful Thursday night from El Dorado. Tonight, the beginning of the end of the season, the last homestand of the year. The Broncos hosting the Dodge City A's for 4, and then Wellington on Tuesday. Good evening again, Kurt Caden, and we are ready to bring you some Bronco and A's baseball tonight. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. The batting order for the visiting Dodge City A's. Robbie Glendenning will lead off playing shortstop. Batting second is Austin Shirley. Kevin Connolly will bat third. Steven Sauter, the catcher, batting fourth. Alex Aguiar, the second baseman, will bat fifth. Luke Becker in the sixth hole. Matt Haggerty in right field, batting seventh. MJ Farthing is the DH. He'll bat eighth. And Leno Ramirez will bat ninth and play third base. For the El Dorado Broncos tonight out in the field, the outfield looks like this. Wade Hanna in center field, Tyler Sutherland's in left, and Clayton Dalrymple in right field. Tony Colsing's at third base tonight. Grant Ware at shortstop. Kyle Kasser at second base. And Elijah Christensen. Sparks Christensen at first base tonight. The catcher tonight is Cameron Knight. And on the hill for the Broncos, Brandon Hicks. So it is time for baseball here from McDonald Stadium. A's and Broncos. So glad that some of you have already logged on in to start watching, and we'll have more, of course, as the night goes on. Brandon Hicks on the hill for the Broncos. And he'll be greeted by Robbie Glendenning, the first batter for the Dodge City A's. Glendenning is out of Northern Iowa Community College. Shortstop, 6'3", 185. And the first pitch down low, ball one. Second one in there for strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike. The A's are in their yellow tops, gray pants with the green lettering, white trim across the chest. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Laced out. Ware's got it, and he launches over to first to retire Glendenning in the first out of the game. So here comes Austin Shirley. Austin Shirley comes into this game batting .259, 22 hits and 85 at-bats. He's driven in 17. Left-handed batter, and the first pitch from Hicks dives down low, ball one. Broncos in their home white unis tonight with the white top vests and orange sleeves, orange numerals, black trim. Here's one out to Kasser with Mom in the stands, and he'll retire Shirley for the second out of the inning. So 2 away, and now Kevin Connolly will come to the plate. Kevin Connolly from Creighton University, 6', 180. So Connolly, a Creighton Blue Jay. Of course, they moved into the Big East Conference last year. Brandon Hicks fires his first pitch, fastball right down the pipe, strike one. Brandon Hicks coming into this game with a record of 4-0, a 2.48 ERA as he nears 30 innings pitched on the season. He's allowed just 8 earned runs, 9 total, 12 walks, and 23 strikeouts. That one got through Knight and ball one. Coming into this game, Brandon Hicks along with Andrew Morales, both 4-0, both have 23 strikeouts on the season. So the 1-1 pitch on its way to Connolly, and that one's riding upstairs, ball two. 2 balls and a strike. The first of 4 with the Dodge City A's. We'll have the broadcast each night here this weekend, leading off with this one here tonight, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, all at 7 o'clock. All free to watch right here on YouTube. And the 2-1 lifted out to center field. Wade Hanna is under it, and that will retire the A's. A nice start for Brandon Hicks, a 1-2-3 inning. So after a half inning, it's the Dodge City A's 0 and the El Dorado Broncos coming up. We'll be back with more in a moment here on YouTube. Let's take a look at the batting order tonight for the El Dorado Broncos. They will lead off with Clayton Dalrymple. Tyler Sutherland will bat second. Wade Hanna third. Sparks Christensen in the 4-hole. Cameron Knight, who's probably been the hottest hitter for El Dorado, bats fifth. Josh Galvin sixth. Tony Colsing seventh. Grant Ware batting eighth. And Kyle Kasser bats ninth. For the Dodge City A's out in the field, Matt Haggerty's in right field. The center fielder is Kevin Connolly, and the left fielder, Austin Shirley. Around the infield, Ramirez at third base. The shortstop is Glenn Denning. Second base, Alex Aguiar. And at first base, Luke Becker. Catching tonight for Dodge City is Steven Souter. And the pitcher is Alex Werbach. So here's Clayton Dalrymple leading it off for the Broncos. And the first pitch a bit upstairs for ball one. The last 5 games, Cameron Knight is hitting .625. Clayton Dalrymple at .545. So those two have really been the star hitters here in the last 5 games for these El Dorado Broncos as Dalrymple fouls one out of play. Strike one. A ball and a strike from Alex Werbach. And the pitch. And that one on the corner for strike two. Werbach in his 6th start on the season. And he comes in with a record of 0-4. The 1-2, and Clayton fights that one off to stay alive. Werbach has pitched 20 innings, given up 33 hits, so his whip is not very good there. Walks, let's see, his walks 12 walks and 21 strikeouts. Here's the 1-2 to Dalrymple, just off the plate, ball two. Werbach, of his 26 runs allowed, 24 of them have been earned. He comes into this game with a 10.62 ERA. Long, lanky pitcher. Here's the 2-2, ball three. 3-2 to Clayton Dalrymple. It's Dalrymple, Sutherland, and Hanna, the 3 outfielders, leading it off here for El Dorado in the home half of the first inning. No score. And the pitch is spoiled again by Dalrymple. Still 3-2. Good to have Dale Short on the PA, Gina Short on the scoreboard, and Gary on the stats. And the curveball, beauty by Werbach, and he strikes out Dalrymple to lead off this game for the A's. So one away, and here comes Tyler Sutherland. Sutherland heading to Youngstown State University, batting .351 on the season, 33 hits, 7 of those doubles, 1 of those a home run. And he looks at strike one. Just 11 strikeouts for Sutherland in 94 at-bats. It's a pretty good ratio there. On the corner to off the corner, ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Werbach to Sutherland. No score, bottom of the first inning. Werbach, the right-hander, fires in there, and that one caught the corner and right across the knees for strike two. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Werbach brings it in. Sutherland fights it off out to shortstop. Glenn Denning's got it. Fires to first to retire Tyler Sutherland. So 2 away, and Wade Hanna will come up. Wade Hanna out of Emporia State University. Hometown is Shawnee, Kansas. 5'10", 175. Right-handed batter is Wade Hanna. 2 away in the bottom of the first, and lifting one out to right field. Starting in and then backing up on it is Haggerty, and he's got the catch. And a good start for Alex Werbach and the Dodge City A's. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We'll head to the second inning. No score between Dodge City and El Dorado. And welcome back here to McDonald Stadium, Brad Longfield, Broncos and A's doing battle here tonight. El Dorado won 3 of 4 at Dodge City earlier this season. They were competitive games. I know one game, which ended up being 14-4. It was like a 5-4 game into the ninth, and the Broncos exploded for 9 in the ninth or something like that. So they were competitive games for sure. Brandon Hicks starts off Steven Souter with a strike. And Brandon's fastball is pretty lively here early on. No balls and a strike to Steven Souter. Souter out of Boston College University, 6'2", 200-pounder. And he's fooled on the changeup, strike 2. So hard gas on the first pitch, he comes back soft, and Souter was way out in front. No balls and 2 strikes. Souter, Aguiar, and Becker, the scheduled 3 here for the A's in the second. And Souter, a high chopper out to second. Kassa runs it down. He'll flip over to Christensen and retire Souter. It's a warm one here in south central Kansas. Game time first pitch temperature, 93 degrees. And pretty good dew point. Pretty high humidity as well. So it's a kind of a sticky one out there for everyone involved. Fans, players, coaches, scorekeepers, statisticians, broadcasters, concession stand workers. Alex Aguiar lines the first pitch foul, and it's 0-1. Aguiar from California, University of California at Davis. No balls and a strike. And Aguiar got under one, lifts it out to left field, running it down. Sutherland cannot run it down, and it ends up foul. Sutherland gave really good chase out there on some choppy ground and nearly ran it down. So no balls and 2 strikes, and Aguiar's been out in front on each pitch. The yellow Dodge City A top says athletics across their chest. Look just like the Oakland athletic uniforms. Hicks fastball away and ball 1. So a ball and 2 strikes to the UC Davis. Second baseman Alex Aguiar. Coming in batting .284 on the season. And the 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Brandon Hicks has his second out of the inning. First strikeout of the night for Hicks. So Luke Becker will step up to the plate. Becker, .241 hitter on the season, 13 hits and 54 at-bats. This is the 17th game of the season. 4 doubles to go with those 13 hits, so 9 singles and 4 doubles for Becker. Ball 1, the first offering from Brandon Hicks. Right-hander Hicks winds, and that one on the corner for strike 1. A ball and a strike. Becker in his 54 at-bats has struck out 14 times. He's had a good eye. He's walked 11. So a ball and a strike here to Becker. Left-handed stick, and this one riding inside, ball 2. Defense for the Broncos, pretty much straight away. Dalrymple straight away and right. Sutherland straight away and left. Hanna shades the left field side of center field, but not by much. And the off-speed dropped a little bit low. 3 balls and a strike. Matt Haggerty waits on deck for the A's. So Luke Becker in charge here at 3-1, and he chops one to Christensen. He gloves it in fair territory, an easy put out, and that will retire the A's 1-2-3. So we head to the bottom of the second inning. Dodge City and El Dorado are scoreless. More play-by-play in a moment from McDonald Stadium here on YouTube. And welcome back. And the El Dorado Broncos will come up. Both teams in search of their first base runner, let alone hit. Hicks has retired the first 6 that he's faced, and Werbach cruised through the first 3 that he faced in the bottom of the first inning. So it's Elijah Christensen leading it off for El Dorado, right-handed batter. 6 home runs on the season for Christensen. He looks at strike 1. Elijah, this past weekend when the Bethany Bulls were here really battling a sinus infection, didn't get many at-bats. And, of course, Matt Holcomb got injured during some outfield games in that weekend series with Bethany, and he had a pretty swollen eye, I know, on Saturday. Christensen looks at the high fastball, 2 balls and a strike. For those of you watching maybe for the first time, if all of a sudden your screen goes black, it just means we lost our wireless connection for a moment, and it will come back. I promise. We'll get it back on. Just takes a couple of clicks on my end here. So if you're watching for the first time, don't panic if all of a sudden it goes black or you see a mugshot of me and my son on there. That's no worries. We'll get it back for you. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and a swing and a miss, strike 2. And for those of you watching for the first time, all these broadcasts are archived, so if you missed any part of it, want to go back and see an exciting play, and once the final out is made and we go off the air, the game gets archived. Christensen lifting it out to the left center track and at the wall. Did he catch it? Oh, what a catch. Timing it beautifully was Austin Shirley, robbed a home run from Elijah Christensen. It looked like that had the distance. And boy, did Shirley time it beautifully. And then a little coy out there where Shirley didn't quite reveal his hand until I got everyone kind of wondering what was going on. And sure enough, he caught it. So a great catch by Shirley. 1 ball and no strikes here to Cameron Knight. Cameron Knight hitting .625 in his last 5 contests. Ten hits and 16 at bats. Swing and a miss. 1-1 the count. And out of those 10 hits in his last 5 games, he's doubled once, he homered once, driven in 5 runs. He has really been in a nice, happy zone of late for the El Dorado Broncos. Werbach fires it inside half, and it's strike 2. Alex Werbach doesn't look anything like the stats have indicated here in the first inning and 2/3. Josh Galvin waiting on deck. Here's the 1-2 pitch, curveball, and a strikeout of Cameron Knight. Boy, Werbach really mixing up his pitches and locations in that at bat, and that was really well done by him. He went inside, he went outside, he went fast, he went slow, curveballs in there. Great pitching there by Werbach. And now here comes Josh Galvin. Galvin out of Kentucky Wesleyan College, 5'10", 202 pounds. I like how Josh goes with 202. Most have either a 0 or 5. You know, it's 140, 160, 175. Galvin weighs 202. And he whips one to the first baseman who puts his glove up, Luke Becker, and makes a catch. So some good leather by the A's in the bottom of the 2nd inning. We'll head to the 3rd. No score between El Dorado and Dodge City. So let's go to the top of the third inning. The Dodge City A's will have 7, 8, 9. Haggerty, Farthing, and Ramirez. Matt Haggerty leading it off out of Grand Canyon University. 6'1", 200-pounder, bats and throws right-handed. Haggerty enters play tonight with a .235 batting average. And he hits on out, and our first base runner of the night. Clean single out to center field for Matt Haggerty. So MJ Farthing will come up. Farthing hitting .203 on the season, 15 out of 74. He has walked a team high 17 times. So Farthing knows his strike zone for sure. Haggerty, a decent lead off of first, and Hicks comes home, and this one's tapped foul. The Dodge City A's dugout to the right of your screen. Broncos to the left. Farthing from Kansas University, 6'1", 190. And he looks away, ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. The El Dorado Broncos coming into play tonight have the best record in the Jayhawk League, let alone the division. 22-9 are the Broncos. Hayesville is 22-10. Hicks delivers, and that's across the knees, strike 2. So in the overall, of course we go by divisions, but if you put all 8 teams together, El Dorado would have a half-game lead over Hayesville. A ball and 2 strikes. Haggerty leads off of first base. Farthing has to go in defensive mode, and a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that'll bring up Leno Ramirez. Ramirez from Dodge City Community College. So it's got to be fun, I would think, for some of these guys. I know Cameron Knight, he went to Butler County, of course, playing for El Dorado. Here's Ramirez, who goes to Dodge City Community College, and he plays for the Dodge City A's. And he'll look outside, ball 1. In the Jayhawk North, the Broncos have a 4.5-game lead over Liberal. Liberal's fallen to 18-14. Hayes is 5.5 back at 17-15. They've rebounded after their 4-game series loss here in El Dorado a week or so ago. Running on the play is Haggerty. Throw off to the shortstop side of second. Ware grabbed it, tried to get the tag on, but couldn't get Haggerty. Good throw, would have had him. But a stolen base for Haggerty. Dodge City entering play tonight. They are 14-18, 8.5 games behind the Broncos. 1 ball and 1 strike to Leno Ramirez. And the pitch, and he swung at what looked like it could have been ball 2. Top of the order, and Robbie Glendenning waiting on deck for Dodge City. In the Jayhawk South, Hayesville has a 3.5-game lead over Wellington, and those two are playing in a 4-game series this weekend, a huge series in Wellington. Here's the 1-2, and Leno hits it through the gap. Dalrymple's got it. They'll wave him home. Dalrymple's throw on line. Knight's got it, and the tag, and he's out. Clayton Dalrymple throws out Haggerty. A 1-hopper to Cameron Knight, as Haggerty tried to go around him, and Cameron Knight applied the tag. A great play by Dalrymple and Knight. So Haggerty is retired 9-2 there, and 2 away in the third inning. Watched Dalrymple glove that as Haggerty was rounding third, and you just knew Clayton had a pretty good chance at maybe throwing him out, and he did just that. Here's a chopper to Colsing at third. He's got it on a hop, throws over to first, and that's the inning for the Dodge City A's. They do collect the first hits of the night, but they score nothing. No runs on 2 hits. No errors, 1 left. We'll go to the bottom of the third inning. Dodge City 0, El Dorado 0. So the El Dorado Broncos, well, I'll tell you, a couple staples of this team all season long. 2-out hits and solid defense. And the defense shining through there in the third as the A's were ready to take a 1-0 lead, but Clayton Dalrymple and Cameron Knight would have none of that. Colsing leading off the bottom of the third, a chopper to his counterpart Ramirez at third, and he'll throw out Colsing for the first out. And that'll bring up Grant Ware. Grant Ware out of Tarleton State University, 6'1", 140. And looking at Ware's numbers the last 5 games, he's also been hitting it well. 389 clip for Grant Ware. And that includes a triple and a home run. And the first pitch, Grant swinging and fouling it out of play. It's fun to meet the Wares. I'm sure they're watching and listening tonight down in Conroe, Texas. Always fun. I tell you, if you come to the park, feel free to come up here to the press box, and we'd love to meet you. It's fun to meet the parents of these terrific players that the Broncos have. Ware looks at strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Good to see Drew Johnson in the house tonight. And there's the 0-2 pitch. Low and away, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kyle Kasser waits on deck. And the pitch from Warbach, and fouled out of play. So it remains 1-2 to Grant Ware. No score. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Beautiful sunshine, warm, humid-filled Kansas day. And the pitch. And Ware fighting that one off his fist, and he spoils that strikeout pitch, and he'll get another shot at it. Alex Warbach, right-handed pitcher, winds curveball, and that broke Ware's bat. Hits it out to short, and Ware is retired 6-3. Boy, that just had a quirky sound to it. So 2 away, and with Mom in the crowd, Kyle Kasser will come up to the dish for the Broncos. I appreciate the zucchini bread that was brought. The Kassers enjoy the broadcast. They live in Southern California. Kasser looks at ball 1. So I was asking how the weather is out there, and it's warm, but she said it's quite a bit stickier here. That's well put. That's exactly what it is. 2 balls and no strikes to Kyle Kasser. Bree, California, the hometown of Mr. Kasser, goes to the University of Oregon. Here's the 2-0 pitch, lifts it out into left center field, and the first hit of the night for the Broncos comes from Kyle Kasser. And with 2 outs, Clayton Dalrymple will get a shot at it here in the 3rd inning. So both starting pitchers had no-nos into the 3rd inning, but that's as far as it would go. So here comes Clayton Dalrymple. Dalrymple out of Coppell, Texas, 6'1", 185. And he has been Mr. Everything this year for El Dorado. Dalrymple leads the team in about every offensive category: batting average, on-base percentage, at-bats, runs, hits, RBIs, stolen bases. Kasser gets looked up over at first. He's back. Clayton coming into tonight's action hitting just .439. Not bad. .548 on-base percentage. 54 hits and 123 at-bats. He's doubled 5 times, 2 triples, and 5 home runs. And Warbach comes home, and ball 1. Clayton struck out his first time. Nice to see the fellas here tonight, collecting money, giving out tickets, and enjoying the heat. A ball and no strikes to Dalrymple. And the pitch, and that one's outside, ball 2, and Warbach didn't hit the spot he was hoping for there. So now Clayton is in a good hitter's count, 2 balls and no strikes. Defense for Dodge City plays deep on Clayton. Boy, left field, Shirley is way back there. Of course, it was Shirley who robbed Elijah Christensen of what might have been a home run in the second inning. Right field, about normal. Center field looks to be awful deep. And the pitch to Clayton, and it's fouled off, strike 1. Can't remember, was it the Burns kid from Hayes who played such a shallow center field? So comparing where Burns from Hayes plays to where Connolly for Dodge City plays is night and day. Neither wrong or right, just the way that their managers want to go about it. Kasser on the move. He picked a good pitch. It was a curveball, a great throw down to second base, and Kasser's retired. It took a perfect throw from Souter, and that's exactly what he did. He put it right on the base. So the Broncos are done here in the third. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. And we'll head to the 4th inning. El Dorado and Dodge City are scoreless here on YouTube. Hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. The emails have been quiet so far. I guess I haven't given out the email address. Whether you're an A's fan or a Broncos fan or just a Jayhawk Summer League baseball fan, would love to hear from you. Our email address, Caden Broadcasting, that's C-A-D-E-N, Caden Broadcasting at gmail.com. Always fun to hear from those of you watching and listening tonight. First pitch to Austin Shirley is outside, ball 1. And as I mentioned, all the games are always archived here on YouTube as well. So, of course, I wish we could do more camera work, but I guess one's better than none. 2 balls and no strikes here to Austin Shirley. He grounded out to Kyle Kasser at second base his first time. 2-0 count here, and Hicks missing the zone again, 3-0. 2-3-4 for the Dodge City A's here in the 4th inning. And the 3-0, and Hicks brings it in for strike 1. Shirley wasn't so sure. He was ready to head down to first base. Now 3 balls and a strike. Shirley hitting .259 coming in. Can Hicks work his way back? And there's a grounder out to Ware at short. He comes in a couple of steps off the wrong foot, throws over to first, a strike with plenty on it to retire Austin Shirley. So nice job by Brandon Hicks there to work back into that count as he fell behind 3-0. And he gets a ground ball to Grant Ware and the first out of the inning. Kevin Connolly now up. He flew out to Wade Hanna his first time. 0-2-0 for Dodge City, 0-1-0 for El Dorado. And Connolly looking at strike 1. Not surprising to see Chad Gerwick run Kyle Kasser. And yes, Dalrymple had a good hitter's count, but That's a number 9 batter, and if he gets to second, now Clayton has a chance to drive him in. If he gets thrown out, you're leading off the next inning with your leadoff batter. So Werbach was aware of that. He kept throwing over to first to keep Kasser close. Kyle picked a good pitch to run on, but a terrific throw by Steven Sauter to end the Bronco third inning. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that one grazes the outside corner, strike 2. Hayes is at Liberal tonight. Hayesville at Wellington. Here's the 1-2 count, and it's hit out into right center field. Wade Hanna giving chase, lays out and couldn't make the catch. It's to the wall. And Dalrymple run it down. Connolly slowed up. Now he turns it on, but he's going to make third easy, even with the slowing up there. A stand-up triple for Connolly. Terrific effort by Wade Hanna. I thought he was going to actually lay out and catch that one. So a triple for Connolly, and now the A's are in business here in the fourth inning. One away, and Steven Sauter coming up. Cameron Knight's going to go visit with Brandon Hicks. I mentioned Wade Hanna tends to play, just maybe a hair on the left field side of center field. And he's trying to get his wind back, so that visit by Cameron Knight may have been more of to let Wade Hanna catch his breath than anything else. Sauter grounded out to second his first time. The Broncos will play their infield back. They'll concede a run for an out here. And the first pitch, off speed, strike 1. Brandon Hicks would love a strikeout here. No balls and 1 strike to Steven Sauter, the catcher. And the pitch, and a fastball, strike 2. So Hicks mixing his pitches up, much like Werbach is for Dodge City. No balls and 2 strikes. Brandon's got his sign from Cameron Knight, and the pitch. Strike 3, a swing and a miss from Sauter, a huge strikeout for Hicks. So now here comes Aguiar. And now the A's will need a 2-out hit to deliver Kevin Connolly, who tripled. 2 away in the Dodge City fourth. Alex Aguiar struck out swinging his first time, 0 for 1. Right-handed batter is Aguiar. And the first pitch from Hicks, that's fouled out of play, strike 1. Well, he started at 93 degrees, still at 93 here. As the shadows start to creep onto Brad Longfield, Kyle Kasser and Elijah Christensen and Clayton Dalrymple will be looking into the sun directly into it for the next couple innings. Curveball lifted up in the air. Cameron Knight and Christensen giving chase. Elijah's got it, and the Broncos get out of trouble. A 1-out triple does not come back to hurt El Dorado. So no runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Still scoreless between the A's and the Broncos. So the El Dorado Broncos come up here in the bottom of the fourth inning, and Clayton Dalrymple, who was up when Kasser got thrown out at second base to end the third, will start out fresh here against tough right-hander Alex Werbach. And the first pitch to Clayton, curveball, is in there for strike one. No balls and a strike to Clayton Dalrymple, batting .439 coming in. That curveball out of the strike zone, ball one. Clayton leading the team in RBIs with 30. He has scored 40 runs. And that pitch hit him on the arm. He was ready to run down to first, and then maybe some of that pain might have got in there. Yeah, he's trying to shrug it off. Got him right, looked like in the forearm. I don't think it got him in the elbow, but that hurts nonetheless. Now, the Dodge City manager comes out for an explanation. You could tell, I mean, I've got the window open here. It would clearly hit him. I think the Dodge City manager wanting maybe saying that it fouled. Did it hit his bat at all? It did not. It sounded like it hit straight skin there. So here's Tyler Sutherland, and he's first pitch swinging and foul out of play. Dalrymple leading the team in stolen bases with 15. No balls and a strike to Tyler Sutherland. He grounded out to short his first time. Sutherland puts the ball in play. Just 11 strikeouts on the season. Back over to first. Dalrymple slides in safely. No balls and a strike to Sutherland. Good lead for Dalrymple. And he's on the move. Fastball in, and Clayton's going to steal it without a throw. So now up to Sutherland to move him over to third. A ball and a strike to Sutherland. Wade Hanna waits on deck. And the pitch. Sutherland fouling it out of play again. Sutherland hitting .351, 33 hits and 94 at-bats. 7 of those 33 hits have gone for 2 bases. He's gone deep once this year. He's driven in 14. I'm surprised. It seems like he's driven in more than that, but he comes up with a lot of good 2-out singles. Clayton Dalrymple clearly had third base stolen easily. Thought about coming all the way home as Sutherland grounds out to second base. Sutherland was not going to swing, but boy, that pitch was right there, and he had 2 strikes. He had to fight it off and grounds out to second base, but Dalrymple gets over to third. Clayton will not get a stolen base, even though he had it stolen easily. So the A's had a runner at third with 1 out in the top half of this inning, could not bring him in. Now the Broncos will try to see if they can bring him in, and the A's will bring their infield in. Hanna fouling off the first offering from Werbach. Sparks Christensen waiting on deck for El Dorado. The 0-1 pitch to Wade Hanna. And Hanna lifts it out to deep left field, and that is going to clear the fence. It is gone. Wade Hanna, a 2-run home run, and the Broncos are ahead 2-0. Austin Shirley, who plays a fairly deep left field, barely moved. He knew that was gone by a long ways. So the Emporia State product, Wade Hanna homers. For Hanna, that's his first home run of the season. Now Elijah Christensen looks at ball 1. Well, Werbach has looked really good to this point, but boy, Hanna timed that one beautifully. 1-0 to Sparks Christensen, and a swing and a foul off the catcher. So a ball and a strike, one away here in the Bronco fourth. A Wade Hanna two-run home run has given the Broncos the lead. And the pitch outside, ball two. For Hanna, that's his 16th and 17th RBI of the season. Christensen hits it out to right field, and Haggerty will track it down for the second out. And Cameron Knight will come up. Cameron Knight, a strikeout victim his first time. On the season, Cameron's average has risen to .358 now with this hot streak he's been on. 19 hits and 53 at-bats for Knight. And he waits on the curveball and fouls it out of play. The Broncos have gone with the three-catcher rotation, and boy, it sure seems to have worked out really nicely as Noah Lee, Cameron Knight, and Josh Galvin don't have to sit in the hot sun behind the plate with all the gear too many times. Noah Lee telling us earlier in the season how nice that is to have three catchers. And you would think, well, that cuts into their playing time. Well, it cuts down on their wear and tear too. A ball and a strike to Knight, and that one's low, ball two. 2 balls and a strike to Cameron Knight. Right-handed batter, and the pitch, and Knight just missed that one, fouls it straight back and out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cameron's folks from Oklahoma City making the trek up here as they did last weekend. The Broncos have won 9 straight here at home. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Werbach winds and deals the pitch. Knight hits it down the third base line. That's a fair ball. Ramirez from deep third and almost got him. That's a great effort by Ramirez, but an infield single for Cameron Knight. Ramirez thought maybe it was foul. I think it went just over the bag. It was really close. And Ramirez fielded that outside of the infield turf. He was almost out there on the grass. That was a long throw. Nearly got Cameron Knight. Now a throw over to first, and Knight's in. So that'll give Josh Galvin a chance here. Galvin lined out to the first baseman his first time up. Galvin is going to the switch hitting approach now. Josh hitting .258 on the season. 6 doubles and a home run. And the first pitch, low, ball 1. So the Broncos, who had only sent 9 batters to the plate in the first 3 innings, are sending 6 here to the dish here in the fourth. 2-0 El Dorado. And the pitch to Galvin, fastball, a little bit high. 2 balls and no strikes. Great to have so many of you watching and listening tonight. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. And hope you enjoy the archive as well. Here's 2 balls and no strikes to Galvin. And the pitch, and a swing and a miss, strike 1. And again, I mentioned earlier, if all of a sudden your screen does go black, if you're new to watching these games, we'll get it back on for you. Sometimes we lose our internet connection. We're working off a wireless connection here in El Dorado. Those of you that are familiar viewers know the drill, know that happens from time to time. 2 balls and a strike to Galvin, and he swings over the top. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mentioned the games tonight. Hayes at Liberal, Hayesville at Wellington. Derby and Bethany are playing at Bethany, but instead of playing playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll tell you more in a moment. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and Galvin fouls it out of play. They've decided to play 2 doubleheaders. They're going to play a doubleheader tomorrow night and a doubleheader Saturday night. And those are 2 clubs that have struggled this year, and it'll save Derby some money, that's for sure, going down to Bethany. Only have to spend 1 night. Galvin charges one out to right field. On its way and off the fence. Playing it beautifully was Haggerty, and going to third is Cameron Knight. Josh Galvin just missed. So it's a long single for Galvin as he bangs it off the wall. And now Tony Colson comes up. Tony's average has dropped down to 198. He's been in a bit of a funk for the last 3 weeks. He is second on the team, though, in RBIs, and Cameron Knight's down there at third base. And the pitch to Colsing is outside. Now throw it on to first, and it got away from the first baseman. Galvin will head to second, and a freebie for the Broncos. That'll be an error on the catcher, Souter. Galvin bluffed to steal, and Souter thought he could pick him off, but he short hopped it down to first base, and Becker couldn't pick it, and so Knight scores on the air. Still a runner out there for Colsing, now 3-0 El Dorado. And Colsing just fouled on the third base line. Certainly can credit Josh Galvin there, that bluff steal. Souter, not a bad decision by him. I mean, a good throw might have had him. So now Colsing in defensive mode. No balls and 2 strikes. Souter sets up on the outside half. And the pitch. And Colsing lifts it high in the air out to Haggerty. He camps under it and makes the catch. But the Broncos score 3 times here in the 4th inning. A 2-run home run by Wade Hanna, the loud shot of the inning. 3 runs on 3 hits, an error, and 1 left. So we'll head to the 5th inning. El Dorado 3, Dodge City 0. So the Dodge City A's now trailing 3-0 as they come to bat here in the top of the 5th inning. Becker, Haggerty, and Farthing scheduled to come to the plate. All of a sudden the sun has found some clouds up above, and the lights are coming on here at McDonald Stadium. Don't think there's really any threat of rain. There's a front that's might trigger off some a shower or something. I'm trying to use my meteorology skills here, but all of a sudden just a few clouds, spotty clouds have found their way here over McDonald Stadium. 2 balls and no strikes to Luke Becker. And Becker hits one out to center field. Wade Hanna tracking on the track, and Hanna up against the wall makes the catch. Becker gave it a ride, but Wade Hanna tracked it down for the Broncos and the long first out of the 5th inning. So Matt Haggerty comes up. Haggerty entering play tonight, batting .235. He singled his first at bat. In fact, his hit was the first hit of the game for either side. And check swing, and he didn't go. Ball 1. Brandon Hicks out of Murray State University. 4-0 on the season. 1 ball and 1 strike to Haggerty. Hicks is 6 foot 175 out of Collierville, Tennessee. And the 1-1. And again, right in there for strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes to Haggerty. 3-0 El Dorado here in the top of the 5th. And the curveball, and Haggerty waited on it and sprays it out to right center field. A base hit. Haggerty 2 for 2. So here's MJ Farthing. Farthing struck out in his first at bat. He's 0 for 1. And the first pitch to Farthing, hit out to short. Grant Ware to Kasser for 1. Kasser over to first. Double play. 6-4-3, and the Broncos are out of the 5th inning. We're halfway through from El Dorado. Broncos 3, A's 0. Back in a moment here on YouTube. Well, the El Dorado Broncos come to bat here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. They sent 7 batters to the dish in the 4th inning after sending 9 batters up the first 3 innings. Grant Ware, Kyle Kasser, and Clayton Dalrymple coming up here for El Dorado. Ware hitting .307 on the season. And the first pitch, a little too tall, ball 1. That 6-4-3 double play to end the 4th. Ware had to range into the hole. It had to be a quick exchange. And boy, he got it. And in just a flash, got it over to Kasser at second, who did a great turn and got it to first to retire the side. Ground ball to shortstop. Glenn Denning, good arm, whips it over to first, retire Grant Ware. So Kyle Kasser will come on up. Kyle from the University of Oregon. Always love when Kyle comes up. So many of these guys have some either a batting helmet or gloves or whatnot from their college team. Kasser's got those bright yellow and green shoes with the orange and white uniforms. There's ball 1 from Alex Werbach. 3-0 El Dorado here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the pitch to Kasser is outside, ball 2. Kasser hitting .316 on the season. 18 hits, one of those a double. And the 2-0. Good eye from Kasser, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes to the Oregon Duck, Kyle Kasser. And the pitch from Werbach way outside. Ball 4 got away from Souter. Kasser takes a peek behind, but Souter's got it. So a 4-pitch walk to Kasser. And here comes Clayton Dalrymple. Now, he started off all that mess for Dodge City in the 4th inning, getting hit by a pitch. Stole second and scored on Wade Hanna's 2-run home run. Dalrymple officially 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out in the 1st. Kasser, who singled his first at bat, was thrown out trying to steal to end the third inning. Werbach throws over to first. Kasser's back. And now the pitch to Dalrymple, and that's in there for strike one. 4 games with the Dodge City A's here, and then Wellington will come in Tuesday night for a makeup game. Those two teams played in a doubleheader here earlier this year. El Dorado swept that doubleheader, winning both games 3-2. Dalrymple fouls it into the Dodge City bullpen. No balls and 2 strikes. If it didn't mean anything, they weren't going to play that game with Wellington, but looks like it could have some implications, so you can't wait till after Sunday and then schedule it. So Tuesday night, we'll have a game here, Wellington at El Dorado. No balls and 2 strikes to Dalrymple, and a throw over to first, and a nice pick by Becker. Luckily, that throw was kind of a soft toss over there and a fairly easy pick for Becker. Clayton from Kansas State University. And the pitch. That one's outside. Souter sliding over to make the grab. A ball and 2 strikes. One away here in the Bronco 5th. And the 1-2 pitch. And that one's low. Ball 2. Chad Gerwick, the manager of El Dorado, is assisted by Zach Berry and Toby Reuter. Reuter down at first base. Gerwick at third. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dalrymple. And the pitch. And Dalrymple reaches out, hits it out to Haggerty in right, and Haggerty could not come in and make the catch. He had to play it on a hop, so a base hit for Clayton Dalrymple. Just went with that pitch out to right field. So here comes Tyler Sutherland as the Broncos have 2 on with 1 out here in the 5th inning. Sutherland 0 for 2 with a couple of groundouts in this game. Sutherland from Arkansas City, right just north of the Oklahoma border. And Sutherland, little inside-out swing, fouls it out of play, strike 1. Heading to Youngstown State is Tyler Sutherland. Three, 5-0 for El Dorado, 0, 4-1 for Dodge City. And the 0-1 pitch. Souter was set up outside. That one came back across the plate, but low, 1-1. Kasser down at second base. Dalrymple at first. And the 1-1 pitch from Alex Werbach as there's a double steal, and Kasser got a miserable jump. And he was out by a long ways. So the second out of the inning, retired at third base. And Sutherland with a 1-2 count now. I don't know if there, well, I don't think it was a missed sign. Kasser just didn't get a very good jump. 1-2. And Sutherland got impatient and called time just a hair before Werbach came home. So maybe that was a hit and run, I think, put on by Chad Gerwick. Some activity down in the Dodge City bullpen. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Sutherland, fouled straight back. Jay Rollins is warming up, a left-handed So we head to the top of the sixth inning. It's 9-1-2 coming up for the Dodge City A's. Leno Ramirez will lead it off. He singled his first time. He singled out to right field, and Clayton Dalrymple threw out Matt Haggerty at the plate. First pitch from Hicks outside, ball one. Ramirez from Dodge City Community College, and he rips one down the line, just foul. That had a little bit of hook on it, and just a bit foul. Ramirez put a good swing on that one. So a ball and a strike here to Leno Ramirez. Ramirez comes in batting .205 on the season. And the 1-1 pitch. That one's fisted out too short. Grant Ware could not leap, and he leapt, but he couldn't grab it. Good effort by Ware, but Leno Ramirez is 2 for 2. Just off the fist, but strong enough to get that to the outfield. So Robbie Glendenning comes up. Glendenning is grounded out to short and to third. He's 0 for 2. Just 3 Dodge City A's hitting over 300 on the season, and Glendenning one of them. He's at 309 coming in. Small lead from Ramirez and the pitch from Hicks, and fooled was Glendenning there. Not a good swing by him. No balls and a strike. 38 hits in 123 at-bats. Glendenning second on the team in at-bats on the season. Just Kevin Connolly with 2 more leading the team. And the pitch, a swing and a miss. Better swing. Good fastball from Hicks, though. No balls and 2 strikes. Leadoff single by Ramirez. He's down at first base. Kasser pinching in towards second base. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Hicks. And right down the middle, strike 3. Brandon Hicks. 3 straight strikes. And the first out of the inning and the 4th strikeout of the night for Brandon Hicks. So it's Austin Shirley's turn. Shirley 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice to the infield. Once to second, once to short. And laying down a bunt is Shirley, but it went foul. Not a bad idea. Colsing was playing a bit back there, and left-handed batter Shirley gave it a shot. A third base coach for Dodge City. That's their manager. Boy, he is very much in shape. Boy, he just fills out that green jersey. Looks like he could certainly still play this game. A ball and a strike to Austin Shirley. Ramirez a little bigger lead this time. And the pitch, and behind was Shirley, strike 2. Shirley, a .259 batter on the season. One ball and 2 strikes. And that went outside, ball 2. Austin Shirley from Georgetown University. 5'8", 160. Hicks has his sign from Cameron Knight. And the pitch. Diving down low, ball 3. So now what does Dodge City want to do? They want to put Ramirez in motion. Shirley, 15 strikeouts on the season and 85 at-bats, so it's a good bet to put the bat on the ball. And running is Ramirez, but that pitch high, ball 4. So Kevin Connolly will come up now with 1 away and 2 men on. Connolly tripled his last at-bat out to right center field. Connolly 1 for 2. He flew out to center, and then he got one past Hannah for that triple. So the A's with runners at first and second. And Connolly hits it out to right. Dalrymple tracking and couldn't make the grab. It rolls out to Hannah. Ramirez is at third. He's coming home. Cassers throw that way just a bit late, and Ramirez slides in. Ramirez didn't get a good read on that. Austin Shirley was right on his heels. He had no choice but to come home. And a good slide by Ramirez in the first run of the night for the A's, and Kevin Connolly drove him in. Good effort from Dalrymple, and again, Knight will give Clayton a little bit of time to catch his breath. Clayton got his glove on it, but just off the tip of it. So the A's have the tying run down at second base with Steven Souter up there. Souter from Boston College University and hitting .314 on the season. Connolly, the Dodge City A's best hitter, and now he's tied for the league lead in RBIs with 23, and the first pitch in there is ball one. Souter has 18 runs batted in on the season. 5 home runs for Souter. And here's a chopper down to first. And Christensen looking home, and that'll chase the runners back. And they nearly could have gotten Connolly down at second. Coming halfway down the line to home was Shirley, but Christensen was charging in, and he didn't want to get out at home, so he went back. Well, Connolly was almost all the way to third. They do get the out retired. Good job by Hicks to go cover first on that play. So 2 away, and here's Alex Aguiar. That could have gone a lot of different directions there. Could have been an infield single. Could have been a double play. The Broncos happy to get the out. Now 2 away here in the Dodge City 6th inning. And Alex Aguiar 0 for 2. He's ahead in the count 1-0 here, and the pitch from Hicks. Curveball in there, a beauty, strike one. So 1 ball, 1 strike count to Alex Aguiar. Aguiar, .284 on the season coming in. He's driven in 12. And the pitch hit out to second base. Cassers got it, and over to first. And again, the Broncos, with good defense, get out of a jam with 1 in and runners at second and third and 1 out. The Broncos get a couple of ground outs to get out of trouble. 1 run scores on 2 hits. No errors and 2 left. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. El Dorado 3, Dodge City 1. So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Dodge City A's make a pitching change. I'll tell you about him in a moment. But Alex Werbach, a pretty good outing by him, I thought. 5 innings pitched, Gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, all 2 of them earned. 2 strikeouts and a walk, and he hit a man. The new pitcher is Jay Rollins. Jay is out of Lubbock Christian University, 6 foot, 190 pounder. And his first batter will be Wade Hanna. First pitch curveball, just outside, ball 1. Hanna 1 for 2. He hit the 2-run home run back in the 4th inning. There's strike 1 to Hanna. Hanna, Christensen, and Knight due up here for El Dorado. And the 1-1 pitch after a couple of curveballs, fastball down low, 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 pitch to Hanna, bounced down to Ramirez at third, a little bit of a tricky hop. He gloves it, fires over to first, and retires Hanna, who ran hard down the line. Good play by Ramirez in the first out. Jay Rollins in his 11th game of the season. That's second most on the Dodge City staff. All in relief, 22 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 25 hits, 22 runs, 18 of those earned. 12 walks and 13 strikeouts. Starts off Christensen with a strike here. He is 2-1 on the season, a 7.14 ERA. And this pitch floats just a bit outside, ball 1. Elijah with a couple of flyouts, 0 for 2. He flew out to left and flew out to right. And fouls this one out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 3-1 El Dorado here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Nice to have you tuned in tonight. Feel free to drop us an email. Our email address, cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. That one bounces in, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2, and that one barreling in on Christensen's fist. He fouled it off. Glenn Denning had to hustle over, and that ball ricocheted off the fencing by the El Dorado bullpen and into the field of play. So back to action. Jay Rollins has a sign. The lefty winds and deals, and fastball past Christensen, strike 3. So here comes Cameron Knight. Knight is 1 for 2, singled his last at bat. Eventually scored on a throwing error by the catcher down to first base. And he hits one into the hole, and a base hit for Cameron Knight. Might have cracked his bat there. It didn't quite have that. It was a sharp single, but it didn't sound that way. So here comes Josh Galvin, who will now bat from the right side for the first time tonight. Galvin is 1 for 2. He banged one off the wall in his last at bat for a single. And the first pitch from Rollins is down low, ball 1. So a 2-out single by Cameron Knight, giving Galvin a chance here in the 6th. And that pitch inside. Galvin checked a swing, ball 2. Two balls and no strikes to Josh Galvin. And Galvin lifts it into the infield, and the second baseman, Aguiar, gloves it, and that ends the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. We're through 6 innings of play from McDonald Stadium. It's El Dorado 3, Dodge City 1. So the A's come up here in the top of the 7th inning. 3-1 El Dorado. And Luke Becker will lead it off. Becker, Haggerty, and Farthing due up for Dodge City. Becker is 0 for 2. The Broncos with some activity down in their bullpen now. Brandon Hicks has pitched a good game to this point. 1 run on 6 hits given up. And here's a line drive just past the diving Grant Ware into center field. A base hit for Becker. And now Matt Haggerty comes up. Haggerty, button or two up top undone. Trying to get some coolness. It's a hot, sticky night here. And Zach Beery's going to go visit with Brandon Hicks. Haggerty's 2 for 2. We're back on the air tomorrow night, same time, 7 o'clock. We'll go on just before 7 and get ready for Game 2 of this 4-game series, Dodge City and El Dorado. You know, the Broncos at 22-9, but I'll tell you, a lot of competitive games in this league. Going out to Liberal and winning 3 out of 4 was huge for El Dorado. Sweeping Hayes in a 4-game series here was huge. 3-game sweep of Bethany here. Expected, but still nice to see from El Dorado this past weekend. Broncos, I believe it's now 12 out of 13 they've won. After being swept at Hayesville, they were 10-8. And they've gone 12-1 since that weekend sweep at the hands of the Aviators. Well, it was the point of the season, 10-8. The season could go, obviously, a couple different ways. The Broncos have really responded. It started with a doubleheader sweep against Wellington. Haggerty fouls off the first pitch. 2 singles for Haggerty. He's got a stolen base. He was thrown out at the plate in the 3rd inning by Clayton Dalrymple. Here's the 0-1 pitch, hit towards first, and that's a base hit. Got that one past Christensen. Dalrymple's got it, and he comes up firing, and no advance past second base for Becker. So Matt Haggerty 3 for 3 tonight. The bottom of the order has done more damage to Brandon Hicks than the top half. Haggerty's 3 for 3. Leno Ramirez at the 9 spot is 2 for 2. Now MJ Farthing is 0 for 2. Well, sorry for that. We did lose our connection there. MJ Farthing popping out to second base. And no advance by the runners. And now the Broncos will make a pitching change. We'll tell you about it in a moment. One away here in the Dodge City 7th. 3-1 El Dorado on YouTube. So the El Dorado Broncos making a pitching change. Brandon Hicks goes 6 1/3, gave up 8 hits, struck out 4, walked 1. He's given up 1 run to this point, but the runners on base are his responsibility. Nick Salentine coming into the game. 4.24 ERA for Nick. He's gone 17 innings. Given up 14 runs, but just 8 of those earned. 9 walks and 7 strikeouts. He's 0-1 on the season with a save. And he'll deal with Leno Ramirez, who is 2 for 2 with a run scored. And the first pitch outside, ball 1. 1 away here in the A's 7th inning. MJ Farthing, the last at bat. We went off the air. He popped it out to second base after failing to sacrifice in his first 2 strikes. And the pitch from Salentine into the turf. What a great stop there by Cameron Knight. 2 balls and no strikes to Leno Ramirez. Glenn Denning waits on deck for the A's. Salentine's got his sign. And the pitch, swing and a miss by Ramirez. He was ready to rip there. 2 balls and a strike. Nick is from North Dakota State University. He's from Fargo, North Dakota. 6'2", 175. All the field now in shadows except for just below the scoreboard. There's still some sunlight shining in. And the pitch hit towards Christensen at first. He'll fire over to second to get 1. Back over to first, almost. Salentine covering, nicely done there. And Grant Ware nearly got it back there in time. So it's a force out, a fielder's choice for Ramirez. Haggerty is retired at second base for the second out. Over to third is Luke Becker. So runners at the corners, now 2 away, and Robbie Glendenning coming up. Glendenning 0 for 3, all of that against Brandon Hicks. 3-1 Broncos here in the 7th. First two batters for the A's reached in this seventh inning. That pitch way outside, ball one. Becker singled, Haggerty singled. Farthing popped out to second, and Ramirez just hit into a fielder's choice. One ball count here to Glendenning. And the pitch, that one's low, and Cameron Knight has really earned his keep here tonight. He's made a couple of fine stops in this inning. Glendenning coming in, batting .309. He's got 18 runs batted in on the season. A fine hitter is Glendenning. And the pitch on the inside, too far inside, ball three. .3-0 count to Glendenning. Will they cut him loose here on 3-0? The pitch inside, ball four. So two singles, a fielder's choice, and a walk, and now Austin Shirley is the man of the hour with 2 outs here in the seventh inning. The tying run out at second base, and Leno Ramirez. Shirley 0 for 2 with a walk, and the A's would love to get Shirley on so Connolly could get a chance. This is a huge moment in this game. 3-1 Broncos. Austin Shirley, .259 batter coming in. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Becker down at third, and the pitch. Caught the corner, strike one. Becker at third, Ramirez at second, and Glendenning down at first. And the 0-1 pitch. A little bit low, ball two, or ball one, I should say. 1 ball, 1 strike. Derek Feige starting to loosen up, not throwing, just getting his stretches in right now. And that one fouled straight back by Shirley. Feige has been the Broncos' closer this season, and his time may be coming up. Drew Johnson is warming up. A ball and 2 strikes to Austin Shirley. Salentine just 7 strikeouts on the season in 17 innings. He could use one here. And the pitch, and he hit him on the knee. Boy, that hurts. And that will force in the second run for Dodge City, and now they get Kevin Connolly up there. Oh, that one hurts. Austin Shirley, a trooper as he ran down to first, and then right on the knee or above the knee. Ooh. Susan B. Allen Memorial Hospital sends trainers every night to the games, and the trainer's going to run out there and just double check on Shirley. And the coach says, he's all right, but that will hurt later on tonight and tomorrow, I'm sure. What hurts now for the Broncos is here comes Kevin Connolly. A painful RBI. Connolly didn't mean to, but he went around. Strike one. 3-2 now, El Dorado. Connolly 2 for 3. A fly out to center, then a triple to right center, and then a single. Connolly, their leading hitter, their leading RBI guy. 0-1 the pitch, and it is in there for strike 2. Connolly didn't like it. Now 0-2. Connolly hitting .320 on the season. 5 home runs on the season for Connolly. Salentine ahead, 0-2. And the pitch upstairs, ball one. Good 0-2 pitch there from Nick. He was ahead 1-2 on Shirley, and he hit him in the knee. Steven Souter waits on deck for the A's. Salentine's got his sign. Knight sets up on the outside, and the pitch fisted towards second. Kasser gloves it over to first, and they got Connolly and are out of the inning. The A's leave him loaded. They score 1 in the inning. It's time to stretch. El Dorado 3, Dodge City 2. Well, the El Dorado Broncos playing with fire in the 7th inning, but they got out of it, allowing just the 1 run. The first 2 batters reached, the bases were loaded. Shirley got hit by a pitch to force in a run, but Kevin Connolly grounds out to second base to end the A's threat in the 7th. So Tony Colsing will lead it off for El Dorado here in the bottom of the 7th. And Colsing with a sharp single down to left field line. Tony rounding first. He's going to have at least 2. And a stand-up leadoff double for Tony Colsing. The Broncos all season have known how to respond. And well, this game getting tight. And now the Broncos want to see if they can stretch it out again. Grant Ware now comes up, a couple of groundouts, both to shortstop. Tony lacing that one down the left field line for El Dorado. For Tony Colsing, it's his 5th double of the season. So now Grant Ware up there. And Ware swinging and hits it up the middle. Gloved by the second baseman, over to first. What a play by Aguiar. But Ware does his job as Colsing does get over to third base. For a moment, I thought Aguiar might glove it and go to third because Tony was going back to second base and then decided to go. Aguiar would have had a play there. Probably the tougher play was to first, and he did it beautifully. Terrific play by Alex Aguiar at second base. So now with 1 out and Tony Colsing at third base, here's Kyle Kasser. Mom in the crowd. Kasser's 1 for 1 with a walk. And the pitch, curveball in there, strike 1. Kasser's been thrown out twice stealing. Once picked or stolen, trying to steal second. Once trying to steal third on a hit and run. Here's the 0-1. And Kasser checks his swing. And he did not go. 1 ball and 1 strike. Clayton Dalrymple waits on deck for El Dorado. 3-2 Broncos, bottom of the 7th inning. Lefty on lefty here. Kasser right up on that plate. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes to Kyle Kasser. And the pitch, and Kasser fights it off, fouls it out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kyle Kasser. Kasser's average up to .316 on the season. 18 hits and 57 at-bats. He's got a .339 on-base percentage. And the 1-2, fastball low, ball 2. Kasser on the season has driven in 7. Walked twice and struck out 12 times. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kyle Kasser. Jay Rawlings on the hill and the pitch. Kasser chops it foul towards first base. Clayton Dalrymple balances the bat on home plate. Is there anything Clayton cannot do? So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jay Rawlings pitching to Kyle Kasser. Colsing down at third, the pitch. And Kasser hits it out into left field. That's an RBI single, and the Broncos get one back, and they take a 4-2 lead. Kyle Kasser with a 2-strike count. Drives in Tony Colsing, who led off the inning with a double. Well, you got to have Mom in the crowd more often. It's always fun to play in front of Mom. Kasser's 2 for 2, and he's been on base all 3 times tonight. Clayton Dalrymple now up. He's 1 for 2. Was hit by a pitch, stole a couple of bases tonight, and scored a run. First pitch to Clayton. He's behind that one. Fouls it down the first base side. Four to 2 El Dorado. Much needed run there for the Broncos. Kasser, good lead off for first, and he's back in time. I was so glad we had some Bronco baseball tonight. Of course, Major League Baseball still off until tomorrow. The Royals play tomorrow afternoon, doubleheader in Chicago. And Clayton Dalrymple trying to shoot it through the right side. Aguiar is there, and Alex Aguiar is putting on a defensive display here in the 7th inning. He retires Dalrymple 4-3. Kyle Kasser moves down to second base. And now Tyler Sutherland up there with 2 away. And Kasser in scoring position. And the fastball is in there for strike 1. Tyler is 0 for 3. He's got 3 infield groundouts tonight. Sutherland, the number 4 leading hitter on the team as far as average is concerned. And this one bouncing in. Great play by Souter. Keeping out in front. Put that chest protector right out there and let it bounce off. Sutherland at 351. Dalrymple leading the way at 439. Matt Holcomb, who's injured, is second at 386. Cameron Knight is up to 358. And then Sutherland at 351. Ten Broncos are hitting 300 or better. There's a pitch diving down low, ball 2. 10 hitters hitting 300 or better. That is terrific if you're an El Dorado fan. 2 balls and a strike to Tyler Sutherland. And the pitch, and he chops this one off the plate, and it's going to spin its way foul. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wade Hanna waiting on deck here for the Broncos. El Dorado scoring 3 in the 4th inning, and now 1 here in the 7th. Dodge City scoring single runs in the 6th and the 7th inning. Deuce is wild now on Tyler Sutherland. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away, and a 4-2 Bronco lead. And the pitch. That one's low, ball 3. Kyle Kasser at second base for El Dorado. And the 3-2. Curveball. Sutherland fights it off. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. First email of the night coming in from Chaska, Minnesota, Lynn Colsing. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And Sutherland laces it to first, and a nice snag at first base by Luke Becker. The Broncos get a run back. And after 7 innings, El Dorado 4, Dodge City 2. And yes, Lynn, Tony did need that double. That was a good start for El Dorado. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more play-by-play in a moment here on YouTube. Steven Souter flying out to Clayton Dalrymple, the first out of the inning, and now it's Alex Aguiar. Aguiar puts a charge into one out to left center field. Wade Hanna runs it down. Boy, that sounded great off the bat of Aguiar. But Wade Hanna, with that great speed, tracks it down no problem in the second out of the inning for Dodge City here in the eighth. So here comes Luke Becker. Becker 1 for 3 tonight. Singled and scored in the seventh inning. So Drew Johnson retires the first two A's and the pitch, and that's outside, ball one. Johnson on the season. Generally has been a starter, coming in relief here tonight. That pitch low, ball two. Drew's got a 5.28 ERA. He's 1-3 on the season. 10 walks and 20 strikeouts in his 29 innings. Here's the 2-0 pitch. A little bit low, ball three. Matt Haggerty waits on deck. So a 3-0 pitch, and that one's in there for strike one. Luke Becker hitting .241 coming into play tonight. And the 3-1 pitch, and Becker lifts it into foul territory. Tony Colson giving chase, and it's not going to be within his reach. So now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Luke Becker. Becker out of Northern Iowa Community College. Full count, and the pitch. And that's lifted and placed right between Colsing and Ware, a single for Luke Becker. So a 2-out hit by Becker, and Matt Haggerty will come up, and Haggerty having a nice night, 3 for 3. Singled in the third, stole second, was thrown out trying to score by Clayton Dalrymple. Singled in the fifth, but stayed at first, and he was eliminated on a 6-4-3 double play. Singled in the seventh, but he was retired on a fielder's choice at second base. Looks at strike one. All of those hits by Haggerty were off of the Broncos starter, Brandon Hicks. 2-away here in the eighth, 4-2 El Dorado. And the pitch, and Haggerty way out in front, just tapped it foul. No balls and 2 strikes. MJ Farthing waits on deck for Dodge City. Here's the 0-2 from Drew Johnson. Way outside, Cameron Knight with a nice save. Ball one. Drew Johnson from Neosho County Community College. He's from Wichita. And the pitch, and lifted out into right field, slicing into foul territory. Dalrymple with a running catch. And that will end the eighth inning. No runs ahead, no errors, 1 left. Head to the bottom of the eighth inning. El Dorado 4, Dodge City 2. Well, the El Dorado Broncos heading to the bottom of the 8th inning, leading 4-2. And Wade Hanna will lead it off. Wade Hanna's 2-run home run in the 4th inning. Really the big blow offensively for El Dorado here tonight. Looks at strike one. Jay Rollins has been good in relief here for Dodge City. Rollins and Werbach both coming in with fairly high ERAs, but they've looked really good here tonight. One ball and one strike, and the pitch is off the plate, ball two. The Broncos, when they've entered a series after not playing for a few days to begin the series, they're 1-3. Here's Hanna hitting it up the middle, a base hit. So if it's been the recipe, if you're going to get El Dorado, you want to get them on that opening game of the series. Sparks Christensen coming up. He is 0 for 3. A couple of flyouts and a strikeout for Elijah. Leadoff single for Wade Hanna. He's now 2 for 4 tonight. Good lead for Hanna. And Rollins comes home and Christensen swings through it. Strike one. Elijah hitting 300 coming in, and he's gone below 300 with his 0 for 3 tonight. Throw over to first, and back is Hanna. Elijah with 24 hits and 80 at-bats on the season. Out of his 24 hits, 4 have been doubles, 6 have gone over the fence. Hanna going, pitch a little bit outside. Souter throws it down. Boy, he throws it down good, but Wade Hanna with the stolen base for El Dorado. So even with Souter's good throws, Chad Gerwick not afraid to stay aggressive, and that's what Chad Gerwick, that's how he manages. A ball and a strike to Christensen, no one out, and Wade Hanna down at second base. A big insurance run out there for El Dorado. Christensen lifts it out to left field, and Shirley playing so far back, that one drops in for a single. So Christensen with his first hit of the night, and runners are at first and third. And Cameron Knight coming up. Cameron Knight, a .625 hitter in his last 5 games. Christensen down at first base. Hanna down at third. Cameron Knight, the catcher, up to the bat. And the pitch from Rollins, curveball outside, ball one. Cameron tonight 2 for 3, so he stays hot. He scored a run in the 4th inning off a error by Steven Souter. So 2 for 3 for Cameron Knight, and he's got an RBI waiting for him. And the pitch in there for strike one. Cameron Knight on the season, he's driven in 9 runs. A ball and a strike to Knight. And that one's inside. He scoots out of the way. Ball 2. 4-2 Broncos. 4-10-0 for El Dorado. 2-9-1 for Dodge City. And the 2-1 pitch. Knight chops it towards third. And Ramirez goes to second for 1. Knight beats the throw at first. And Hanna could not advance. So now 1 away. Still runners at first and third for El Dorado. And Josh Galvin up there. Galvin is 1 for 3 tonight. He's faced Rollins 1 time, popped out to second base. Galvin getting a little work on his bat or on his batting glove. I'm sure Jose and Migdalia, Galvin, they don't miss many broadcasts. I'm sure they're watching and rooting Josh on here. Josh out of Kentucky Wesleyan College. And a throw over to first, and Cameron Knight scampers back. Not Indianapolis, I should say. The Galvins are in Cicero, Illinois. And back over to first. So the A's might think that El Dorado might be cooking something up here. Runners on the corners. They want to get that runner in, get a 3-run lead going into the ninth. And Galvin, he had a curveball he liked, but he fouled it off. Strike one. 5'10", 202 pounds is Josh Galvin. Throws right. He's a switch hitter. No balls and a strike. And that pitch upstairs. Galvin thought about offering at it, but pulled back. Jay Rollins relieving Alex Werbach. Werbach went 5. This is the third inning for Jay Rollins. 1 ball and 1 strike to Galvin. And the pitch, curveball, hit out to second base. Could be 2 for Dodge City. Over to second for 1. Back to first. Double play. Big play for the Dodge City A's. A 4-6-3 double play. And the Broncos are denied in the 8th inning. We'll head to the 9th. Dodge City trailing El Dorado 4-2 here on YouTube. Well, welcome back. Let's head to the 9th inning. 4-2, El Dorado. And Derek Feige will come into the game for the Broncos. Feige has been the closer all season for El Dorado. He's got 6 saves on the season, a record of 2-1, 2.87 ERA, 15 in the third innings. And Feige will have to deal with MJ Farthing to lead off. 8-9-1 for Dodge City. And the first pitch, swing and a miss. Want to say hello to Rich and Roz Dalrymple, who informed me that they're longtime followers, and this is the first time I've gotten an email from Rich and Roz. So here's a pitch from Feige, just off the plate, ball 1. They're from Dallas, but they're on vacation and watching in Florida tonight. So How about that? Taking time out of the vacation to watch a little Bronco baseball, and of course their super stud son, Clayton, who, as I mentioned a few times here tonight, he's Mr. Everything on this Bronco squad, leading the team in so many offensive categories. We probably need to mention his defense up there as well. A lot of sliding grabs, putouts. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And that one's upstairs, ball 2. I need to talk to Rich. I don't know if Brad Sham is still the play-by-play for the Cowboys on radio. You know, if they need any help, I'd be happy to come on down into the radio booth. Probably not on the TV booth, but the radio booth, I'd for sure love to come down there. I think it's Brad Sham, isn't it? Rich can probably tell me. Thanks so much for the email. Nice to hear from the Dalrymples tonight. Here's a full count and the pitch and a swing and a miss. Farthing is down on strikes. The first out of the 9th inning, a big one for El Dorado. They lead it 4-2. So a ball or one out, I should say. First pitch coming to Leno Ramirez, who's 2 for 3, I should say. His last at bat he got on, but it was a fielder's choice. Julie Morales also jumping in on the emails. Here's the Ramirez up the middle, and again, Ware, a great effort, but it gets out in the outfield and a base hit for Leno Ramirez. He has 3 singles, and they've been solid singles. So Ramirez 3 for 4 and back to the top of the order. So Robbie Glendenning, 0 for 3. He walked his last at bat. 10th hit of the night for Dodge City there after Ramirez's single. Feige fires it in, and Glendenning offered strike 1. Thanks for all the kind words, Julie Morales. Julie's email mentioning all the great things going on here in El Dorado. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Robbie Glendenning. And a swing and a miss, strike 2. And it's something I've tried to kind of talk about almost every night, because these games don't go on if you don't have terrific host families, terrific community sponsors. There's a sponsor almost every night here, a game sponsor, which is so important. No balls and 2 strikes. And Glendenning fights it off the fist and fouls it out of play. And, of course, there's a lot of folks in town that maybe they're not host families, but they do come out and support these young men as they come to El Dorado. It's really a terrific setting for baseball, terrific city to have Jayhawk baseball in, it's for sure. A great deal. Here's the 0-2. That one's in the turf, and Knight with another good stop. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's one of those things I'm so glad when folks just see that. Broadcasting and being here every night, sometimes you almost start taking it for granted, and you really shouldn't. So, Julie, I'm probably going to send that email along to the hierarchy here with El Dorado's Broncos, just so that's a terrific email. Feige's 1-2 pitch is outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 4-2 Broncos. Leno Ramirez down at first base with 1 away in the top of the 9th inning. 2-2 pitch from Derek Feige. Hit up the middle. Kasser's got it, dropped it, touches second, over to first, double play. It's a really smart play by Kasser, but so they're going to say Ramirez is out at second. You know, that is such a smart play. It's not an infield fly. I don't know why that's. So they will. Okay, so it's a line out. The Glendenning is out on a line out. And Ramirez stays at first base. And the first pitch is a ball to Austin Shirley. So Austin Shirley up there, he is 0 for 2. And the 1-0 pitch in the turf, ball 2. Shirley, a couple of ground outs, walked in the 6th, and he had the unfortunate incident where he was down 1-2 in the count and got plunked right in the knee. Oh, boy, that hurt. But he is a gamer. He did not come out. He fought through the pain. 2 balls and no strikes. And Shirley getting a little impatient. We'll call time. 4-2 Broncos here in the top of the 9th inning. And the 2-0, that's low, ball 3. And again, the very dangerous Kevin Connolly waiting on deck. And you know he's chomping. It was Connolly who grounded out with the bases loaded in the 7th inning. Well, he'd love to get up there as the potential go-ahead run. And Feige's 3-0 is right down the middle, so 3 balls and a strike. This is the batter Feige wants, Austin Shirley. Three balls and a strike to the left-handed batter. And that one's chopped foul, and now the count is full. Shirley on the season coming in batting .259. He's driven in 17 on the season. Derek Feige looking for his 7th save of the season. Never easy in the Jayhawk. All these games, it doesn't matter record, games behind. These teams come out and play every night. Very entertaining baseball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ramirez on the move, and that pitch outside, and Kevin Connolly will get another chance. So a strikeout, a single, a line out, and a walk, and Kevin Connolly, who's tripled and singled, he's 2 for 4 tonight. Connolly, the leading hitter for the A's, coming in at .320. And the first pitch high, ball 1. Connolly second on the team with home runs with 5. He's leading the team, or second on the team in RBIs with 22. Runners at first and second, 2 away in the 9th. Power versus power here. Feige upstairs again, ball 2, and Cameron Knight will take a walk out to the mound. Steven Souter waiting on deck. Kevin Connolly from Creighton University, 6 foot 180. Terrific baseball player. Connolly in the field, man's center field for the Dodge City A's. 4-2 Broncos here in the top of the 9th. Runners at first and second, and Feige nearly went from the windup. Steps off, and now we'll go from the stretch. 2 balls and no strikes to Kevin Connolly. He can look for his pitch here. And that one's inside, ball 3. Souter on deck, and he is their second leading hitter. Now you get to the 3 and 4 area of the Dodge City, 2, 3, 4. These are good hitters. And the bottom of the order has been good. This is a good hitting team, Dodge City. This haven't found that big hit yet. Connolly given the green light, and that one fouled off, cued it, and he might have chipped his bat. I like that play from Dodge City. Your best hitter up there, you're down by 2. Green light him on 3-0. So Connolly looks for some new lumber. And that ball off the end of his bat, it started kind of spinning back towards fair territory, but it didn't really get close. But it was going more towards the field of play than it was towards the dugout. So new wood for Connolly. Still way out ahead is Kevin. 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. Feige's got his sign. And either the umpire or Connolly wasn't quite ready there, so we'll reset and do it again. And Feige's now ready. The 3-1. And that one just missed. Feige staring in. So back-to-back walks, and Dodge City has the go-ahead run on base. And here comes Steven Souter. And Chad Gerwick is going to come out and talk, not Zach Beery. So Feige's given up a single and a couple of walks here in the ninth. Leno Ramirez is over at third. He had the one-out single. Glendenning lined out to second as Kasser tried to get creative and let it bang off his glove and drop at his feet. Tried to get the easy double play, but umpires ruled that it was intentional. Can't do that. And so Glendenning was pretty much given a line out. Ramirez stayed at first, and then back-to-back walks to Shirley and Connolly. Now here's Steven Souter. Souter is due. He's 0 for 4. Souter with a ground out to second, a strikeout, a ground out to first, and a fly out to right field. Feige goes from the windup, way upstairs, ball 1. Souter from Boston College. Batting .314 on the season, coming in here to play tonight, and the 1-0 is low, ball 2. Feige really working from behind. That's a 2-0 count now to Souter. Souter has also hit 5 home runs on the season, 18 RBI. Bases loaded for Dodge City. The 2-0, and that one's thrown in the turf, 3-0. Feige starting to overthrow a little bit, it looks like. 4-2 Broncos. Tying run at second, go-ahead run at first. The 3-0 pitch. Upstairs, ball 4, 3 straight walks. And we've got a 4-3 ball game. How big was that run for El Dorado in the 7th inning? And now racing down to the bullpen. Who is that running down there for El Dorado? Joe Kennedy. So Leno Ramirez scores. Shirley goes to the third. Connolly to second. And Souter gets the RBI walk. Well, the Broncos relievers have been in a bit of a giving mood. Bases loaded in the 7th, and Shirley got hit by a pitch to force in a run. Now a walk forces in a run. And Alex Aguiar, who's 0 for 4, comes up. The tying run just 90 feet away. Feige winds and deals and starts him off with strike 1. And the Bronco faithful here trying to get behind Derek Feige now. No balls and a strike to Aguiar, a 284 hitter. And the 0-1 pitch from Feige. A little bit high, ball 1. Tying run at third, the go-ahead run at second. Dodge City has trailed the entire game, but they have been battling here in the late innings to get back in it. A ball and a strike. And that one a bit low, ball 2. And you'll find with most umpires, when the pitcher's struggling to hit spots, even on those borderline pitches, they generally don't get the call. You see it at all levels. 2 balls and a strike. And that pitch, that one looked in there. Yep, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Aguiar. Another thing, when a pitcher's wild and not throwing strikes, sometimes the batters start thinking, well, I'm just going to step here and get a walk. And Feige is obliged 3 times in a row, but now trying to get Aguiar. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Feige winds and deals. The pitch inside, ball 3. Just missed the inside corner. So this is the money pitch right here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out in the 9th. 4-3 El Dorado. And the pitch popped up. Will it stay in play? Cameron Knight's got a play on it. Makes the catch, and El Dorado wins. Broncos win 4-3. They did not make it easy on themselves, and credit the Bronco faithful here for getting behind Derek on that last couple of pitches there. And he induces a pop out for Aguiar, who ends up 0 for 5 tonight. And twice in this game, the Dodge City A's had the bases loaded, only got 1 run in each of those innings. And again, none of them were on hit balls. A hit batter forced in a run and a walk forced in a run. And again, going back, how big Tony Colsing's leadoff double in the 7th inning. He eventually scored on Kyle Kasser's single after Dodge City had gotten the game down to 3-2 in the top half of the 7th inning. In the bottom half, the Broncos scored that 1 run, made it 4-2, and it stood up 4-3. The final score here tonight. El Dorado with the win, and Brandon Hicks improves to 5-0 on the season with the win. The loss goes to Alex Werbach, and Derek Feige with the not-so-comfortable save tonight for the Broncos, but that's his 7th save of the season. Time of the game, 2 hours and 23 minutes. And they're 2 hours and 23 happy minutes because the Broncos win again. They've won 13 of their last 14 games, and the Broncos are 23-9 on the season. Dodge City falls to 14-19. Boy, what a start to this series. Should be a fun one. Hope you'll be out at the yard for the next 3 nights. If not, well, sit back in the coolness of your home, and we'll have the broadcast for you. You can watch and listen to all this series here on YouTube. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Big thanks to the Colsings and Moraleses and all the emails, the Dalrymples, the Hannahs, all of you for emailing, and hopefully we get the emails in a little earlier. We got a lot of emails late in the game tonight, which is fun, but kind of when the drama was occurring here as well. The player of the game, well, I don't know, Wade Hannah's 2-run home run was a pretty fun sight to see. He had a 2-run home run in the 4th inning. Wade goes 2-for-4 tonight in the winning effort for El Dorado. We're back on the air tomorrow night. We'll be on just shortly before 7 o'clock, just a minute or two before 7, and we'll have first pitch at 7 o'clock. Game 2 of this 4-game series, Dodge City at El Dorado tomorrow night. So, until then, hope you have a great rest of your evening. Kurt Caden with you. Good night from El Dorado.